Did y'all hear him yell at me? I know y'all heard it. I need to let the record show that he yelled at me. Because he didn't like the little raggedy music. Thank you, babe. Because he didn't like the table is very fragile.
Why is the table so fragile?
One of the legs is broken. That would make it fragile, wouldn't it? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You want it today? Yeah.
Excuse me, take a moment to share. Comment, like, subscribe. That's why the music is on.
That wasn't good music.
Yeah, well, you can only play certain music that's royalty free. So
You said we're live?
we're live. Well, I'm seeing it.
Yes, we are live, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You guess.
Good morning, Precious. How are you, my sister?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Precious is co-hosting with me on Wednesday.
Really? So where am I supposed to be?
I'm going to teach you how to run the controls. You're going to be a producer.
Oh, in the studio?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We can do that.
Mm-hmm. Proud of you. Good morning, good morning. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Got about 1 minute. Please take a moment, if you don't mind, and
Miss Queen Chanel, how are you?
Hey, beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Good
What
morning.
a weekend we had. Oh my Lord. Lisa put together a very aggressive schedule for us to talk about some stuff, and we're going to try to honor that as best we can because she went ahead and did that work. So we're going to try to go by that schedule as best we can. But this is going to be funny to do.
It's going to be an amazing day.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to attempt to get some time to just chill in today. Please take a moment to invite someone to the show that may have never joined us before. And just thank you for being a part of our family. As soon as this commercial is off, I'm going to go ahead. We just love you too. We miss you so much, though. Hey, Precious, good morning. Thank you so much. We love you back. Hey, Miss Vivian.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeil.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeil.
Thank you for joining us on our show. Let's talk about it. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Please take some extra time today to like and share. Our analytics are blowing up. I want to tell you, and it's all thanks to you. And the more views and the more reach that we get, the more impact we have for our guests and our authors and our business owners that we connect with.
The show becomes better for our guests well as for you.
Absolutely. So we just thank you for being a part of the success of the show. We went up 200% on the Empowerment Duo page as far as viewers and likes over the past week and a half because of the consistent work that we've been putting in. So for that, I want to say thank you. And we do have a schedule. That is one thing that we talked about. Brian says we got an aggressive schedule. We do. And we're going to be going through this agenda this morning because we want to keep you informed and we want to have a good time while we do it. So let's start out with the weekend recap.
Our weekend officially started on Friday. Friday, we had a great week. Fridays are great for us anyway. Let me tell you why this past Friday was so awesome. We did our show from in studio on Friday, those of you who remember, and we had a special guest, and he was amazing. Huh? Yeah. Okay, he was amazing. We had Mr. Casper Hill in studio. He showed up very early, enough time for us to get ready. So we did our morning show Friday from in studio with a special guest, Casper Hill.
And if you missed it, please go watch the replay. It was off the chain.
He was on the air with us like 45 minutes. It was great. And then after the show, we went to breakfast with Casper and his road
Rashad.
dog,
Oh my goodness,
Rashad.
he is crazy.
Rashad, I love the guy. You can't think of him without smiling. He's a big old guy that's always got a smile and a laugh in his mouth and face on his face. Just a great guy. We had breakfast with them.
Yes.
Then we went to
the Empowerment Circle.
We went to the Empowerment Circle every Friday. The Empowerment Circle. This Empowerment Circle was more intimate, but it was special. It was special. We had a good time, and it got a chance for Casper and Rashad to see how we do every Friday, the way we network. Our network is almost like the best version of church, because you get heard and you get to hear from others as well.
Yes.
And then after the networking circle, while we were still at the office doing a little work, we got blessed with an opportunity to get tickets to go see the Carolina Panthers opening home game against the Miami Dolphins. And Carolina won the game. We went to the game together. That's our first football game as a couple, I think.
Yeah, we've watched stuff on TV, but that's our first actual game. That's my first football game at all.
Really?
In my whole entire life.
To me, that it was, but I was happy for that with you. And during the game, during the national anthem, we sat down during the national anthem and recorded us sitting down during the national anthem in support of the players who protest.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that during the politics and religion segment.
We'll do that then.
About the sitting down part. But I did enjoy the football game, and I actually wanted to. We are going to have sports talk as well this this later on in the show, and want to talk about like the upcoming games and what's going to happen.
Let's do it.
So what else on the weekend? All
right. So after the football game, we were uptown Charlotte, and it wasn't that far of a walk. We just walked on over to our cigar bar. We went to the Epicenter. The Epicenter, if you've never been to Charlotte before, you got to visit the Epicenter. And we went to Tailored Smoke, and we had us a great cigar with great conversation Friday evening. That was our Friday evening. And then Saturday came. Oh, the Empowerment Author Showcase ExCon edition was better than I had ever dared hope it would be.
Really?
Yes.
I think so too. Good morning, Monique. Monique Young, you have been just doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow. I think that I need to connect with you, sis.
Raised down in Brooklyn.
Precious said I experienced my first game with my hubby as well.
What first game? Because you got to check with them, make sure we're talking about the same thing.
And Precious, please make sure that you hang around for Matters of the Heart. I'm sure that you will have lots and lots of input into that with us. I definitely want to hear your input. And I actually, Monique, because we haven't seen you and your busy self, I had relationship as one of the hot topics on there. And I thought about you, but I hadn't seen you in so long. I was like, what if Monique is not on? So we need to make sure that we plan for you to be here so we can talk
like you putting a little pressure on Monique right there.
Little bit. Brooklyn born. That's what's up.
Raised out in Brooklyn. That's how you say that.
Hey, Carmelita. Carmelita spent some weekend with us.
She was there at the Office Showcase.
Went to her first game back when she was pregnant with number 1 of 5. LOL. Okay. So that was about 20 years ago, 35, 40 years ago.
Exactly.
No, probably like 15, 16 years ago.
Or longer than that, because the first child, and then she's not graduating yet. She's 15, 16. Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm trying to get them.
Hey to the duo. What's good? Carmelita, thank you so much for coming out on Saturday.
What happened to your husband's arm?
What you do to him?
Did he like say something out the way and you had to handle him? Her husband showed up with a sling on,
It's the dermatologist.
Jones, my wife is enjoying collecting your donatologist quotes that she's gathering from the dough talk. Yes, she's been gathering some dough talks and putting some ideas for pictures to go with the dough talks. She is feeling your vibe, and I'm feeling that she's feeling your vibe, and I can't wait for this evening for our session.
Your first game was the Panthers game as well. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Let me say this about just going back to the game, or maybe I'll save it for the sports talk. Never mind, I'll save it for the sports talk.
Okay.
But the weekend recap. So she's 17, so she was about 17 and a half years ago. That's right. So
cool.
Absolutely. So I see you. So the weekend, let me say this. The Empowerment Author Showcase, first of all, phenomenal. Those authors held nothing back.
They gave
Nothing
This is
back.
the ex-con edition. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we do authors showcase where we feature authors, but this is the first time we featured only authors that have served time, either in jail or prison, and some of them significant time. 21 years, 14 years, in and out, losing 9 years of your life, behind
And
incarceration.
some of them can't even remember how long they were in because they were in and out so much before the light bulb went off over their head.
Yeah.
And what blessed me, two things blessed me the most yesterday. And one thing saddened me. So that the first thing that blessed me was that we did have young men in the audience that needed to meet these guys for real.
Yes.
For real.
So teenagers, they needed to hear that.
Gotta make the donut. Speak to you later.
Peace.
They needed to be there. And the good thing about that was that these men and women who had come back and are now contributing members of society are now not only doing big community stuff, but they feel the importance of the one-on-one stuff. They want to get it to heart with these young men. They want to get in their face, not the scared straight, the love, the heart to heart, the bruh, I don't want you to lose your whole youth like I did. That, you know what I mean? It was for real. That was awesome to me. The second most favorite part was young Miss Ivy, Kiddo Candy.
11-year-old entrepreneur.
What?
You like that part?
What? She came to the show. Shout out to Jawan Cap
for getting her there. Yeah,
getting her there. He's our favorite comedian, entrepreneur. He is the founder of Goof, Giving Others Opportunities First, which is a
consortium of comedians who support each other and try to make sure that each other stay fed.
Well, Miss Ivy is 11 years old, and she started a business. We missed you,
Tamika. How are you? Yes, you need to come around, y'all.
That's right.
We do want to see your face, Tamika, definitely.
Absolutely.
And you're still invited to everything we do.
Of course. That's my girl. Tonight is Women Empowerment Networks. Tomorrow night. Today is Monday. I lost a day in my life. So
second to me. Now, you're a favorite comedian now. She said comedian entrepreneur because we know what he's doing entrepreneurial wise.
He is building a consortium.
And you, Monique, we just got to learn more about your stuff.
But what he does, I feel is pretty unique in that he has built a consortium of comedians while he's still on the come up.
Yeah.
Like he's not the comedy man. He's still building and growing, right? But he said, you know what? This set might not be a fit for me.
Tawana, good morning, my coach Tawana.
I'm going to say to one of my brothers or sisters in the comedy gig, yo, you take this gig. It fits better for you. They're looking for a Christian comedian. This fits better for you. He's actually sharing the love.
And they go to each other's sets, which I love.
So he brought this young lady, 11 years old. Her name is Ivy. And she has a candy business. She has made butterfly lollipops. And they taste like Jolly Ranchers. And they're delicious. And she sells them to help her mother. And she also took some of her money and sponsored one of his tours, his Where Is My Hairline.
This young lady's 11 years old, has a company called Kiddo's Candies. She started that business 2 years ago. When she was 9 to help her mother with small things like gas money.
Yes.
And now the business has been going for 2 years, and she was able to sponsor the Where's My Hairline tour, one of the sponsors of the Where's My Hairline tour.
Good morning, my coach Tawana. Peace, Diva. Please hashtag first time viewer if this is your first time on. We want to give you extra love. I'm rocking and rolling now, so my wheels are back turning. See you tomorrow. We will see you.
We'll see you tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening is the Male Empowerment Networks and Women Empowerment Networks. We'll talk about that more later in the show. Y'all notice how Lisa has flexed her technical muscles and got the scroll on the bottom, so you know what we're talking about when we're talking about it. She even got her calendar up on the other side. Her schedule up on the other side, so she knows when we're supposed to move on to something. I'm ready with that.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
That's right, Tamika. Train up a child. Good morning, Zimona Zipperu.
Gotta say it like that.
It is now time for our second segment, which is the 6-minute sales segment brought to you by BrianKMcNeil.com.
Lisa challenged me. She said, okay, honey, you ready with your 6-minute sales segment? I said, okay, honey, I'll be ready with my 6-minute sales segment. What you want to talk about? She goes, and then she basically put it out there, get a sale today. which is wonderful. What do you have to do when you need to get a sale today? You need a right now sale. I've had many salespeople in my offices slamming the desk. I need a sale, and I would basically just look, I'm not doing your work for you. Mm. Go do your own work. Mm. Okay, you come in my office telling me how much you need to sell. There ain't none of your sales in here. Go to work.
But as the sales coach, Kelly.
As a sales, good morning, Sister Kelly Skillerin. How you doing?
New grandma, new car with a husband, taking vacations, living a life. We miss you, Kelly.
That's what we call a grandma. It's not a grandma. So here's what we're going to do to help you guys get a sales segment today. Let's start. Let's make sure we stay on.
Started. I am
watching the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. What if you needed a sale today? And just to turn up the pressure a little bit, if you weren't in your home city, if you was in a city where you didn't know anybody and they didn't know you, you had no leads, no contacts, no nothing. If you were in Dubuque, Iowa, and you needed a sale today, you don't know anybody there, what?
Just go ahead. I'm reading the comments.
I mean, I see you do the. Like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
Can you talk to the people?
I can talk to the
people.
You
only got 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh.
That's all I need.
All right.
Less. So if you was in Dubuque, Iowa, and you needed to make a sale today with no leads, no contacts, no lay of the land, no nothing, but all you had was whatever you had to sell, whatever it is your thing is. If you have a landscaping company, you got to sell that day in that strange town where no one knows you. Mm-hmm. What would you do? How would you get a sale that day? Mm-hmm. Well, first thing you would do is you would talk to somebody, right? So here's what you talk to. You want to start talking with centers of influence, people who may know other people that they can refer you to.
How do you find centers of influence?
You find centers of influence.
Bully.
There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can be bold as to go into any retail store and say to them, hey, you know anyone here? Or if my business, I'm a sales coach. I can go into any retail store. Hey, do you know, not retail store, any store that, any insurance agency, any business where I can walk in, and I say, hey, do you know anybody that has a sales force or a bunch of salespeople that they work with, or a bunch of salespeople? And I'll get some ideas, and then I'll go talk to that person. But that's not where I wanted to go right now. Okay, I wanted to go with you gotta talk to somebody. You gotta talk to somebody. So here's what you talk to: a center of influence. Typically, a center of influence will be someone who has a reach. It'll be a pastor, it'll be a politician, it'll be a lawyer, it'll be someone that owns a business. Those are centers of influence, people that own something, centers of influence. And I would like people that I like talking to. So I would either use LinkedIn or I would use Google, and I would find maybe a woman business owner in this city. Okay, and I would reach out to her and say, hey, my name is Brian McNeil. I offer such and such, and I want to know, can I show you what I got or something? But the point is, you got to make some contacts and got to make them early. Now, if I made my contacts early, if I say I start out at 8 o'clock in the morning, just reaching out to people and just trying to find someone willing to sit with me, that day, if I made enough calls, I can find enough people that's willing to sit with me. And I always ask for 4 minutes of time. Can you give me 4 minutes?
Okay.
The reason why I ask for 4 minutes, I just need 4 minutes of your time to showcase for you how I can be of service to you. I ask for 4 minutes because 4 minutes you can always be fit in. You can always fit into their schedule. And with those 4 minutes, if I got someone 4 minutes, they said we can do it right now over the phone, or you can come to my office, however they did it. Okay. With those 4 minutes, the first thing I would do is I would start off with the problem that I solved. Mm-hmm. There's so many businesses just like yours that have a challenge with da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, what I do is I solve that problem through my services, basically, is what you convey. And then I do this so that they can no longer have that problem anymore, so it can prosper, such. And what I want to know is, can I offer you a chance to give this a try? Mm-hmm. Can I offer you a chance to give this a try? Will you give my services a try? Now, let's say I had an opportunity to tell just 4 businesses today, gave 4 different businesses today a chance to give my services a try. That means I got about a 25% chance with each one of them. Mm-hmm. So, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But if I gave 6 businesses an opportunity to give my businesses a try, the probability of me being successful goes up a little bit higher. If I gave 10 businesses an opportunity to give my business a try or to give my service a try, my chances of being successful go up higher even, because all I need is 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 12.
So that's great. Now, all of those statistics and all of that. I think that this works really, really well for people who are in coaching and consulting.
Yeah.
And so I encourage those who are in coaching and consulting. I think step one for that is really identifying who to target.
Yes, and I have a workshop I do, find out who's your ideal client, and I'll just give a snippet of it now. Think about in your adult life, think about, that's right. Think about in your adult life, there have been people that they have bought something from you and it did not feel like a buyer-seller relationship. It just felt comfortable. You enjoyed talking to them and they enjoyed talking to you back. And the process was easy. It was easy to make the sale because you guys clicked. But there was also the exact converse. You also had some people where you were attempting to sell to and it didn't work at all. The communication was difficult. You didn't like them and they didn't like you. And it was hard to work with that person. Now, I want you to think about, just to put those two thoughts in your mind, the ones that were very easy, communication was easy, it was easy to make the process, and think about the ones that was very, very difficult and what made it difficult with them. When you think about the kind of people that you have difficult time selling to, and you think about the kind of people that it's easy for you to sell to, you could formulate the picture of your ideal client. And what I would suggest you do is write down 10 characteristics of your ideal client. Write down 10 characteristics of your ideal client, and then, like, for example, your ideal client, first off, they have to have an ability to pay for your services is one. They might be, whatever you like. Like, say you want to sell to women over 45, and they have to have an ability to pay for your services, and they have to be open to what you have to offer, and they have to have a life experience or some pain associated with what you solve. Okay, something like that. So you come up with a list of 10 characteristics, and then you want to find people that have at least 6 or 7 of them to offer your services to. That's what's called high probability selling. You're only selling to people that you have the highest probability of being successful, and the people that are low, that don't have characteristics that you like, don't bother selling to them.
I'm going to stop you right there. And I'm going to say that this would be a great segment to pick up on tomorrow.
Okay.
Is identifying your ideal client as a separate segment, because I think that that's a piece of it, but we don't want to do it all at one time. You only got 6 minutes. I think take 6 minutes to identify your ideal client, and we can put that on Tuesday's agenda.
Okay.
And right now, if you
read off Tamika what she said.
Right now, I want to give you the opportunity that if you want your own one-on-one session with Brian, so that you can have the same experience that Tamika is talking about right now.
Tamika says, "Man,
listen, Linda, listen. Brian taught me in 5.3 seconds, not 4 minutes, how to affirmatively get a sale. My approach has shifted since. Can't wait to start my true sessions with you." That's a real life testimony, and you can have your own real life testimony, because Brian does offer a 15-minute free session over the phone, free phone consultation that all you have to do is call. If you go to briankmcneil.com, his contact information and everything is there for you. So thank you. And we're going to move on right now to our next segment, Matters of the Heart.
All right. Now, tell me what you mean by that. What do you want? Where do you want to go?
I don't know what I was thinking about when I said Matters of the Heart. I just thought it was important because we are personal conversation, business information, and spiritual inspiration, that somehow Matters of the Heart will come in. And also people think of us, even though we don't think of us as relationship people, we are in relationship with each other, and we work on that matter of the heart.
Well, let me pose this thing.
Okay.
I'm just going to pose this. At the author showcase, at some point at the author showcase, I believe everyone in the room was moved to emotion.
Absolutely.
At some point.
Sometimes a few times. And we always forget the tissues. Like, it needs somebody, Sabrina, Carmelita, somebody needs to be responsible for bringing the freaking tissues. We need some Urshias.
Sometimes they will move to emotion in the beginning of the showcase. Sometimes in the middle. Sometimes it was at the very end. Sometimes it was after everything was done, and they just had a chance to have a one-on-one time with the author, and that moved them to emotion.
Yes.
Why were so many people moved to emotion at that event?
I think this one, we are relationship people. You think so? We're in relationship with each other, and we do like to have a relationship with those that we work with because we do work so much of the time. So we want to have fun and have love and have life while we do it. So
And
thank
we
you for
genuinely like
noticing
our
that.
clients and some we love. So
Absolutely. So yeah, infuse healthy relationships. I like that.
I like it too.
I like that. I'm going to keep that, Tamika. I think that what moved people this weekend, first of all, I think stories of overcoming move people.
Okay.
And that is why I tell my
And there were some
coaches,
stories of overcoming.
but that's
Wow.
why I tell my coaches, you want to make impact, let people know why you do what you do. Because if they understand why you do what you do, if people that know me understand that this is not a game with me. This is me not wanting to see another woman go through what I went through. That's why I do what I do. And when people see that, they connect to that energy.
The right people connect with that.
Right people,
Not
the
everyone
right
knows,
people.
but the right people.
You're right. Only the right people. But the
Mhm.
good thing about it is I'm only looking for the right people.
Good morning,
Craig. Hey, Craig, I miss you.
At the end, I watched the end of it this morning.
Did you?
Showcase.
I haven't had the opportunity yet.
I watched it because that was the part where I was moved to emotion. I was wondering what caused me to go to emotion, because my plan was the showcase was over.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting all the authors back on stage for photo op.
And you were a mess.
I was intending. She's right. I was intending to bring them on stage for the photo op. So I called them up one at a time so they can all get their applause. Is what I was thinking I was going to do. But that's not what happened.
Yes.
As I started calling them up,
I love my husband.
As I called up Cedric and Hakima and looking for Alicia, I was starting to appreciate what they had done. And then I called up Casper and Archivius. Archivius, get on up here, man. What you doing? And I'm messing with them as they're coming up. And as they ascended up on the stage, I was awash and overwhelmed with gratitude and thankfulness for these special people who had served time and was willing to show up on a Saturday, on a rainy Saturday, to tell their story to this waiting audience. I was just overcome with gratitude. So as I started to thank them, emotion welled up in me.
Absolutely, and it was beautiful. And here's the other thing that I think that their stories did as well. And this is just from a parent's perspective, that it's never too late.
Yeah.
There are people that could have written them off if they had stopped writing their story at 20, if they had stopped writing their story.
Because the system was designed to take them, the system tried to take them off the scene.
Off 100%. And there was a couple of people in the audience whose children or husbands or sons were still in prison.
Yes.
And this gave them hope.
Coach T, who was one of our vendors at this event, she had a chance to talk about it. She came to sell some stuff to make some money. You know, that's what you're vending for. You ain't vending for sport. You know, you invest your money and you want to vend to make more money than you invested, right? She didn't. After about maybe midway point, as she's listening to these authors, and she had an opportunity to come up on stage as well. We certainly gave our vendors an opportunity to speak. She told us she didn't care if she made $1. She needed to hear this.
Yeah.
Because right now her, and she said it publicly, which is why I feel okay to say this, her husband is incarcerated right now.
Until 2020.
Until 2020. In 2020? And her son is until 2019.
2021.
2021. Wow. So her husband and her son are both incarcerated. And she got a chance to hear from men and women tell their stories of their past incarcerations that have come out and written a book and done amazing things. That's what it was, the triumph of the human spirit. Wow.
Absolutely. So that was a matter of the heart from this weekend. Absolutely. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor again. IGotItMoney.com. They have made some upgrades to their website, baby. You need to check it out.
It's very bold.
IGotItMoney.com. If you don't have enough money, or if you just want more money, then you need to check out the website.
You don't have enough money. If you want to be smarter with your money.
Smarter with money. The money that you already have. Understand this. It doesn't cost you anything to watch the video. Just go watch it. But having sponsors like BrianKMcNeil.com, like IGotItMoney.com will allow us to have That's all right. Don't take it off, honey. Will allow us to continue programming like this. Honey, I better take my responses offline before I have the Facebook floodgates burst open and all your words will be washed away. LOL. Love you. Keep empowering excellence. Amen.
Hey, we know because that was our eighth one. We're not new to this.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew that the stories would be the most important thing. We knew that, I know and Lisa knows because we've done it enough times that every single author is going to impact somebody. They're all going to impact somebody. And a lot of times there's somebody, the artist can only hear from one specific author. And we don't know which one, but we know they're going to have impact.
Right. And that's the other reason why we share our platform is the movement is what's important.
Yeah.
The movement. Now, yes, we've both written books. Yes, we're both authors. I'm a publisher.
I didn't mention my book at all.
I could very easily exclusively focus on authors that I've published. I could exclusively focus on his and our books. But the reason why that God put this platform in me was to provide a platform for the voiceless, to have a voice, because every story is a testament to his greatness.
Yes. And those authors, without that showcase, when would they have had a chance to do it like that?
Right. Now, please let us know what you did this weekend. We don't want to do all the talking here. Remember that this is a portion. This show is for you, by you. And we just want you to know that. Amen, precious. The emotion of seeing and witnessing God's grace for us.
Yes.
It's amazing to see how only God can transform a pain into a power.
Thank you, precious.
Realizing that we were born equipped for life's woes, and through each other's stories, we find the strength to see our light. Knowing when you show up, you're holding the door open, becoming the vessel that only God intended you to be.
Thank you, precious. I needed you to put some words to that, precious. And I need to hear that poem that you composed again. I want to hear it again. Actually, we have it recorded, don't we?
Yeah, it's recorded, and she'll be here Wednesday as well. So we'll be talking about the showcase again on Wednesday.
For those of you who don't know, she's a poet and an amazing poet at that, and an intuitive poet and a heart-centered poet. But she composed a poem specifically for that event, and for people, because she knew we was going to celebrate returning citizens, and she composed a poem for that event. Plus, she did one of her own favorites. And it was great.
Here's our answers.
That's not what she did this time, though.
I know. That's what I always hear in my head.
Yes.
I told her that the other day. That's my favorite poem.
I don't know which one is my favorite, but I like a lot.
Tamika, you did hear it? Amen. Tamika said that poem, my God, it was everything.
It was. Precious, thank you. And she's right. Witnessing God's grace, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. There's no way, you don't even have to think you believe in God. If you was in that event, boy, oof, it was all over the place.
Absolutely. Amen. So Tamika said, from one poet to another, you rocked the mic, baby.
And I'll tell you, precious, I'm happy that you're on. Watching you and Hakima talk after the event was kind of special to me, because Precious. Hakima is attempted to get to where Precious is, and she's not where Precious is right now. But just watching Precious love on Hakima, and Hakima appreciate on Precious back, and watching those two ladies talk, that was kind of beautiful to me.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being willing to be helpful to Hakima and talk with her. I saw you guys. It was just nothing but love there.
Well, it's time to go where we have never gone before.
Okay.
We've gone to politics before.
I'm with that. My wife does not like to talk politics, okay? It was all love, precious, and it was great for me to see it. So we're going to talk a little bit about politics, okay?
Just a little bit. Because we had a little bit of a trigger this weekend on our Friday that began sort of the political turn, if you will.
Okay. Well, I'll set it up. We were at the game, and we knew we were not going to stand for the national anthem.
No, we didn't know what the players were going to do, because this was the first game that I had ever been to, and I think it was the first.
It was the first home game.
The first home game.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I had heard all of this talk about you got to stay in the locker room. So I was watching in the beginning, like, okay, well, when everybody joins the field, they come out of the locker room. Do they go back in? How does it work?
We're politics light on this show.
It's going to be politics light,
okay.
At least for now. Now, because I have, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, but at least for now. So I was concerned. I was like, okay, well, are they gonna go run back into the
She was asking questions too,
what,
yeah.
you know, what are they gonna do? But they didn't. They came over probably about 10, maybe a handful.
Yeah, about 10 guys.
10
knelt and prayed
knelt
in the end zone, but they did it before the anthem, not during the anthem.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So when they did that, I began to think, So they got the screws put to them. They had to comply. These guys had to comply, and that kind of pissed me off. And I know that it has. I know right now I'm in like high pissed off mode about anybody that tells anybody else what to do. It's just a mode that I'm in. I'm freaking out over it because I almost feel a little bit out of control. But anyway, I felt like these guys didn't have the opportunity to make a choice if they wanted to keep their jobs, the way the pressure was on. And so that's why I'm so high on entrepreneurship, economic independence. Through entrepreneurship is empowerment, because if you don't own it, you can't decide what to do with it. They, as much money as they make, can't make the choice whether or not to kneel or stand during the anthem, because they don't own the NFL. They don't own their business. That's why I want you to own your stuff.
How much you heard me say it, no matter how much money they make, they still can't decide.
And I was looking at another guy who's talking about, I have to get that. I want to talk about that guy later. He was like, man, a grown man shouldn't be calling somebody boss unless that man is helping him to own his own stuff. They don't have freedom of choice, because if they took that freedom to kneel, they wouldn't be able to provide for their families. So that is taking away their freedom of choice. And so because of that, we decided that we would sit. Now there's no room to kneel in the thing, and I had on white pants. So, but I'm just kidding. But we decided to sit during the. That's right. They don't own their right. We decided to sit through
that, and we recorded us sitting too.
Yes.
And I wanted to record around us too. Now the section we were in really
a tight section. We was real close.
We was in very good seats. Okay, we were in very good seats, and we were the black neighborhood in those very good. Actually, there was another black couple in front of us too. So
and they was tight too.
Yeah. They were not Cam Newton. They were not Cam Newton fans, and they just. Okay. But anyway, we chose to sit, and we posted the video, and it was kind of interesting, some of the responses we got. I think I did lose one or two Facebook friends because we chose to sit during the national anthem, which is awesome.
So here's the thing. Here's the political part of that. Sitting during the national anthem, first of all, is often misunderstood by people of another mindset, and I won't say another color, but another mindset, that it is an offense to the flag. I do not.
It's nothing to do with the flag at all. That's a bastardization of they hijacking a cause. The cause came about to protest police murders, and with no repercussions, no repercussions of the murders, the treatment of us, and the racial inequality in our country. So for you to take
my husband is a veteran,
yeah.
My son's father is a veteran, my uncle is a veteran. I honor the flag and those who serve.
Nothing to do with the flag. This thing right here.
It is nothing to do with that. Precious says that burns my biscuits as well. You ain't got no burned biscuits in your house, Rondell. Cook. It's still a form of enslavement. They make billions off of them, pay them millions, and then tell them they can't live in their reality of what's going on in the world. That's exactly it.
That's it.
Now, boycotting the NFL was a whole nother controversy.
We don't care about your reality.
Right.
Long as you can't offend my sensibilities. It offends my sensibilities when you kneel or raise a fist. So
my spidey senses are tingling.
If you want to do that, stay your ass in the locker room where I don't have to see you.
Right, okay. Which is crazy. So Tamika said, are you surprised you lost those Facebook
No,
friends?
I'm happy and encouraged that I did.
Unfortunately.
I'm happy about that.
So
I didn't want them anyway. If they feel that way, I didn't want them.
That saddens me that in this day and time that that we can't understand that there are certain things that are affecting a people, and it may not be affecting you, but you can't support how someone else is doing for it. I have not stood for the pledge or the anthem in a long while.
And I've had a lot of people come up and say, like James Penn says, it's been many years long before the anthem that they gave up on standing for that at all, because it wasn't for us. And if you listen to the words of the original words of the Star Spangled banner. First off, that should not be our national anthem. That song celebrates killing slaves who have recently been freed. Okay, the third stanza of that, the slave that's trying to run away or fight for them, hell won't be able to hold them and all that, and their footprints will leave blood in the ground. Okay, come on.
And so in this particular instance, again, thank you for your comments. We want to make sure that we read them all, and no comment is too trivial. Even if you just put LOL or oh my God, I can't stand it, please just put something, because those comments are what builds up our algorithms and allow us to have further reach so that we can.
And it's interesting, make our show more fun.
Absolutely. So some people say, well, why'd you go anyway? Some people say kneeling or sitting didn't make any impact. Why don't you vote? Well, it was no votes, no polls open on Friday night. So it wasn't a matter of, instead of going to vote, I'm going to sit today. How foolish is that? And one of the things that really frustrated me the most was not understanding that everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something.
That's right. I like Billy Swinton's comment about that. He was attempting to explain to one of our friends, I'm not going to say her name, who had a problem with people sitting or kneeling during the anthem. And he was explaining to her, it's about one thing at a time. We'll do this here when we can do this thing here. We're voting when the voting time, but we're doing this one thing now. And he was trying to give her an olive branch to rescue herself, because I couldn't believe she was hanging herself with that rope.
Yeah, but it's a matter of opinion, and I think that's why, to tie religion into it, the word of God says, as much as lies within you, live peaceably with all men. So to be quite honest, I can't always agree, but I can only do as much as lies within me. Sports talk. That his name is spelled wrong.
What's this?
It's Toastmaster Sean. And it's SHAWN. But sports talk. So y'all, let me tell you something.
I'm so excited that football is back. I think the world works better during football season than it does without football season, because it adds normalcy to your week. Sundays, we're watching football. We're going to church and we're going to watch football. Makes you sit down, chill. You're not frenzied all over the place. We fill up our Sundays with busyness and stuff, but football's back. Like, for example, my wife knows that I'm going to watch the New York Giants every week. Every week. That's 3 hours where I want to watch my Giants.
Monique says, I still pledge, but I say with liberty and justice for some.
Wow.
Yeah.
For some.
That just put a lump in my throat.
Because it wasn't for everybody. They weren't writing it for slaves. They weren't writing it for them at all. They were writing for them.
Yeah, that hurt my feelings just now. The truth hurts, right? Tamika said, just like everyone cannot be doctors, everyone will not be attorneys, and all are not eligible to be teachers.
Right.
Know what's for you.
Amen.
And do your part. Tamika is laughing at Monique. It actually hurt my feelings to read that post. It really hurt my feelings because it was so true. One of those things that, like, damn, for real?
For real.
And for real. That was for real. True and heavy. Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like, Tamika. Good gracious, Monique, you just bust me up. Dang.
She busts you up that way, and she makes you laugh.
Yes.
Monique.
That's what it is. I know, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Monique, we love Monique's spirit because we met her in New York
at the Entrepreneur Summit.
Entrepreneur Summit that was put on by Miss Robin Devonish and supported by Miss Lucinda Cross-Otidi.
Shout out to Robin Devonish.
And Lucinda.
She is one of my heroes.
Monique Young was one of the featured speakers there, as was I. And I very much enjoyed her segment because she shared her book and about her book. And her book was called It Worked For Me, about her raising teenage daughters. Millennial daughters. But it was so funny. Her talk was just hilarious. So Absolutely.
So we are in the sports talk. So Giants bleed the blue. Tamika, you down? You down?
That's another reason to like Tamika. If you happen to know of anyone that's a Dallas Cowgirl fan, I am going to make fun of them all season long. So just get ready. One of my favorite things to do is to make fun of Cowgirl fans. So I'm going to do that. And don't come at me because I got my stats. I got my memes from years. I've been saving up memes. So I'm going to put them out there.
This should say sports trash talk.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's going to be this year. It's going to be trash talk.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
You're just saying it. That's right, Precious. It's the understanding that we don't have to agree, but we are to respect each other's positions and perspectives for what sits well with them. You don't have the right to take someone else's life and create rules that don't honor them.
Yep.
Tamika said, Dallas is a team.
we're gonna roast them all year.
Tamika. Oh no, I can't with you.
Yes. But one more politics sentence. One things that the current administration reveals, it's kind of like
is the division.
Reveals the division, but it also reveals people's ideologies and true colors. That's a better way of putting it. So when sometimes when I see true colors, I realize, no, that person is not who I thought they were. If they believe that and they're willing to support that, they're willing to overlook that, I can't roll with you no more. I don't want to be with you no more. Nah, they think that way. That's too contrary to the way I think. Nope. No more room for you.
Wow, that is deep, though. That is really deep because we have found out quite a few things about people. Oh, man. Go make some money, Tamika. Go make that money. Let me hold some.
Yeah.
Let me hold some.
And think about it as go and help somebody through your service. Because when they buy from you, they're better off, right?
Oh, man.
If they're better off buying from you than they were by keeping their money, then you are helping them, not just making sales. You're helping them. So go aggressively help people today.
Absolutely. I am really digging the flow. I still want to stay on sports talk a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because other than the fact that football is about to start, we've spent like 2 months sort of like regurgitating sports history because it ain't really nothing going on.
Right.
But I have to say, I have enjoyed hanging out with Skip and Shannon and learning more.
Undisputed. Skip and Shannon. They do it starts at 10, so our show ends at 10. So we have to walk into the kitchen and flip it on right away to get as much sports talk with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on a show called Undisputed on Fox Sports.
Go ahead, Tamika. She's a hope dealer.
There you go.
Deal her. That's right.
I like that. Because that helps identify her market. She wants to help women have more hope through her service.
That's right.
I like it.
I got spidey senses tingling. But so LeBron James.
LeBron James. Okay. What about LeBron James? He's in LA now. What'd you
feel about that?
I like it. I like that he's in LA.
Did you care where he was going to be at?
Of course. We were riveted. I was just like everyone else.
Okay.
I was watching the sports news all day long.
So did you think that he was going to stay
in the East?
Yeah.
One part of me hoped that he would stay in the East because then I know he would have went to the finals again 9 straight years, which is amazing.
That would have been amazing stats for him to take down.
But he might still go to the finals.
You think so?
Out west
with the Lakers?
With the Lakers and Golden State and those great Houston, those great teams out there. It's going to be exciting to watch. They're going to put more West Coast teams on TV out here now because of LeBron James' impact. LeBron James is the proverbial pig in the python. Okay, that's who he is. Wherever like when a python swallows a whole pig, and they can do it.
Their jaws unlatch.
Yes, and their skin stretch. And a python swallows a pig, that pig has to slowly make its way through the body. But wherever that pig goes, okay, that python is not moving anywhere. Once it swallows a pig, it's going to stay right there until it digests. And LeBron is like the pig and the python moving. Wherever he goes, that's the universe. That's the universal sports now. Wherever he moves to. When he was in Cleveland, that's the universal sports. When he goes to Miami, that's universal sports. Back to Cleveland, that's the universe. Now LA is back to the universe again. And it's probably more appropriate that LA is too. They're the second largest media market in our country. La La Land, Hollywood. He probably needs to be out there anyway.
I think it's good for him to be out there. I'm glad that I'm glad that he created his promise school before going so that he can make sure that people understand that, look, this is my job. This is my heart.
Love it.
And I
I
thought that,
promise.
that was really, really important. I thought that
Again, how petty and childish
some people can be.
the baby Cheeto in office is.
We left the politics segment.
We can leave it.
But I don't like calling him that.
Well, that's what I call him.
I think it's disrespectful.
Because he's a disrespectful person.
I agree.
So
I agree, but I still think it's disrespectful
what
to the
name do you
office.
call him? Because we don't say his name. So
No, I just
call him?
45.
You call him 45. That's good for you. I call him the baby Cheeto.
I have always been a fan of King James. I'm a floater. Wherever he goes, I'll follow. So I guess I have to love LA for a moment. I know that's right. I know that's right. I don't have a problem with it. I think the Lakers have some great historical wins.
Magic is there. They got the most. They got the most NBA championships.
Yeah.
So
and I don't really care much about the game. I like the controversy. I like the players. I love basketball players. They're tall, and I love the bald, chocolatey ones. And that's what I know about
the
sports.
NBA does a much better job than the NFL in promoting their sport. For one, NBA allows people to be stars. You can see their faces.
Yes.
In football, they got on helmets when they're on the field. You really can't see their faces.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that was actually why my son Brandon preferred basketball over football because he's a little bit like me. He likes to be in the light, and in football, you're not in the light.
Football, surprise, surprise, surprise. You don't even get to know who these guys are either unless they're making a mistake, messing something up, or being controversial.
Yeah,
you see their face.
Right. Other than that, everybody looks the same, just different sizes.
Yeah.
And so Brandon chose basketball over there.
So when someone is starring, the NFL gets to promote that player's number without promoting the player. You know,
which is really interesting. So I think it's cool. Now,
but the NBA does a great job of that.
I think they do. I think they
do.
Celebrate
the current stars, plus the up and coming stars.
You know? So what's some other some sports controversy? So we had the LeBron James moving to LA, and we have what else is going on?
Always a debate who is the greatest all-time NBA player. They bring that up every time there's a slow sports.
I was about to say, yeah.
They keep bringing that up.
So everybody trying to take the position from Jordan.
Yeah, it's either Jordan or LeBron. It can't be Kobe. Some people want to put, but it can't be Kobe because Kobe, even though Kobe was an amazing player, one of the greatest of all time, but Kobe was never the leader of LeBron. Neither was Jordan. Jordan's teammates and Kobe's teammates didn't always like Jordan and Kobe. But LeBron's teammates, you read what they say about them. You watch what they say about them. They love him. They call him the greatest leader ever because he involves everybody. He wants everyone to have a good time when it's not on the court. He wants everyone involved. He brings everyone to the movies. He's inclusive. Kobe was dogged.
Wow. Which is why the football thinks they own them to tell them what they can do. In the eyes, they're just a number. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, even the for the first time ever, that struck a negative chord in me with the owners of the football team.
Yeah.
You can't own people anymore. Yeah. And obviously you can.
And then the players have to hope that the owner is willing to trade them where they want to go.
No, that thing just
now in the NBA they have freedom of movement.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It pricked me this year, understanding a little bit more about football. I did not like that. I did not like that at all, one bit. And then limiting them from being able to even take a knee, which is
you can't go to the city that you want to go to. Matter of fact, you can't even kneel, which is peaceful protest, because I don't want to see it. And the baby Cheeto gets to talk trash about you, and without repercussion.
Yeah, that all of that, like that controversy was a bit much for me. It was too real. It was too real for me. So, last segment for the day before we just keep on going or do whatever is how to self-publish, question and answer.
So, I want to say this about that. Okay, let's read Monique first. The truth is great. Is great in your time. LeBron is the GOAT of this time, and he had brought more players to the finals than anybody, and that's true. He's brought more players to the finals than anybody.
So great in your own time frame. So And I think I agree with that because you can't take anything away from
That's
Jordan.
true.
He was great in his time.
Amazing. And they had different rules, they had different players.
But they're saying of all time.
I would go with LeBron myself.
Okay.
But now on the Q&A for self-publishing, the first thing I really, really want them to know is they can publish. You can get your book published. I think so many people are retarded in their growth because they think they can't do it.
And
Or they
there's a
think
lot
it's
of
an
ways
impossible task.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can use assisted self-publishing like me. You can do it yourself online. You can go through a publishing company. There's lots of ways. Precious says, I never was a fan of Kobe. He made me feel like a copycat of Jordan before I even understood who everyone was. Learn from someone, but don't try to be them.
And she's right too, because Kobe emulated Michael in every way to the point where Kobe would sound like Michael in interviews. He would answer questions in his Michael Jordan voice, and he would even try to emulate how Jordan walked and talked and did everything like Jordan. But he was probably the best version of that could be. But when you get to the point where you're trying to do interviews and sound like the guy who's your idol,
I don't know. They say the highest form of flattery is imitation.
So that was
his, and it got him far. I mean, I definitely agree with Precious that you want to learn from someone. Don't try to be them. But sometimes you have to try to be them for a while until you're comfortable being who you are, or until who you are evolves out of it.
And he did get to become his own man. He wasn't always a Jordan imitator. He did.
Yeah. So I there are some things that I still emulate of my mentors and people that I aspire to be. One day, there's lots of things. One of the things that I used to is the thing that Barbara Walters does with her hands.
Tinting.
Yes, I don't do this as much anymore because I have my own thing now, so I don't need to. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning.
Intellitravel.com.
What?
That's it, Tara Lyles. But so emulation is cool. This is Oprah. Oprah does this.
Okay.
And I did that for a while.
Okay.
so
I see Oprah doing that.
Yeah, she does this.
I see Oprah doing.
But now Oprah has started to sound like Big Mama. I heard her.
She is now. She's singing, right?
Yes, but yes. But I'm saying not just in her voice. We all get a different tone or stuff, whatever. But her words that she's using, just shut up. Like we get around to that's the answer.
Harsh Precious is still on Kobe.
Yeah,
he would have been a better version of himself, and I would have been a fan. It should look similar, not Kobe.
Yeah,
Precious is being true to her ministry. The I choose me because you are more than enough. Yeah, that's why she's going to respond that way, because that's her ministry.
Yes.
Everyone is designed as a perfect version of who they were supposed to be.
Peace. They need their peace. Absolutely.
There's no way she could think any other way, because she looks at everybody as playing their role and perfect as they are, and they just need to be the best version of it.
Absolutely. So in this last segment, we have about 3 minutes in it. If you have a question about self-publishing, I would love to answer that question for you. But one of the things that I want to point out to people is to write with the end in mind. So begin
which
with
is the habit of highly effective people.
Is this book just for you, or is it for others? Is this book if this book is for others, then what's going to compel them to want to read it?
You do want to, especially those of you who are endeavoring to be entrepreneurial and professionals. I think every one of you could be benefited by having a book that you wrote. I promise you, I was in New Orleans and they had 100 trainers, and we had 3,000 people for the Blacks in Government Training Conference, and the ones who didn't have a book did not have as much reach. The ones that did have a book did. You need your book. And the ones who didn't have a book, especially being around all the people that did have a book, wished they had a book. Brother Brian brought three of my books.
Absolutely. And it's just that cool to be able to do that. So begin with the end in mind. Also, Identify a self-publishing solution that's easiest for you. There's lots of them. You can just Google it.
I really believe people that choose to go down self-publishing avenue, the way they start is critical almost, because they need to be pointed in a direction, which is why I think it's very important for them to get a little bit of good counsel before they head down any roads. Get some counsel, talk to somebody who can be helpful to you before you start down any paths, because you can end up going a long time down the wrong path.
And then begin also with how you're going to market and sell the book in mind.
You got to think about that up front.
I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not a fan of this chick at all, but she know how to sell a book.
Okay.
Omarosa.
Omarosa. Oh, yes.
Hunty.
Is she promoting? Is she promoting or what?
Controversy sells. She's got 45 promoting her book for her. She's got CNN promoting her book for her. She's got everybody promoting this book for her, and she doesn't even have the book out yet. It's not even out yet.
It's
and
a bestseller.
That's what people need to get.
Pre-sales
is about creating the energy around your book.
Now, she also has a powerful team around her. Simon & Schuster, they've been around a long time.
Right.
And they're not about to be bullied by the baby Gito.
Right.
This book's coming out, damn it. We dropping it. It's going to drop when we say it's going to drop. And ain't a damn thing you can do to stop it. We got lawyers. We got the law on our side. She got the right beasts behind her.
Simon & Schuster ain't no punks. But you still can create your own movement around your book. Precious says, talk to the Queen Lisa about your book.
With exclamation points.
Absolutely. I would love to help you with your book. But I also want you to know that if you want to self-publish, you can do that. You can do that. And I can help you with that too. We have an assisted self-publishing program that is available to you. And you can reach out to me at IamLisaSantiago.com and do it yourself so that you can do it again and again and again if that's what you want to do. Because it is about getting your message and getting your voice out. Yes, controversy sells, but there are also movements that sell. There's lots of things that sell. Take note of someone who is doing what you want to do.
Be true to your personality.
Be true to your personality, but emulate. Take some of the things that they do and begin to emulate it and implement it into.
If you do what the successful people do,
that's what might happen.
You will be.
You might retch around and get successful. You might retch around and get successful. If we can support you either through sales or publishing or marketing, if you'd like to be a guest on our show, if you just want to let us know how you feel about us, come to our website, go to IamLisaSantiago.com, go to BrianKMcNeil.com.
Here, it's 10 o'clock, baby. Come on. Music.
Oh, goodness. That was so rude.
You were still going on. It's 10. It's been 10.
I need y'all to get your boy.
I'm hungry.
That's what it is. He's hungry. I am Lisa Santiago.com.
I'm Brian Keith McNeil.
And this is Let's Talk About It on ESPTV7 on the SIBN network, on iHeart, iTunes, and right here on Facebook Live.
And remember that your life is not a scrimmage or a practice game. There's no Martyrs Hall of Fame. Time, the speedster, takes its toll. And for all of us, every day really is the Super Bowl. So God bless you and go forward and live your Super Bowl life today.
Remember that you're blessed by the blessor to be a blessing. Permission to be amazing is granted. Go have sex.